I mean,
like,
you're from
listening to like Lil Wayne and shit like that. Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. You're from Bed-Stuy, is that right?
I live in Bed-Stuy.
Okay.
Like, all right, my whole life about where I'm from. Like, I grew up in Elmont, New York. That's like the border of Queens and Long Island, like Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? So that I grew up in that area. You know what I'm saying? Like Queens, Jamaica Ave, Linden. You know what I'm saying? I lived on 201. My mom used to live on 114th Terrace in fucking in Cambria Heights. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother lives in Elmont. I lived with my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? But that whole area is like one area. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up in that area. My adult life, like once I started living on my own since I was like 18, you get what I'm saying? That's when I had my own apartment in Hollis. I'm saying my aunt lived in fucking in St. Albans. So I used to live there too. You know what I'm saying? So I used to live in that whole area. I'm saying Jamaica, Queens, and Elmont. Not more, because like Long Island is a big place, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not more into like further out in Long Island. You understand what I'm saying? Like I grew up on the border. Like Queens is like up the block from where I grew up. You understand what I'm saying? So that's like one area. If you know about that shit, it's like one fucking area. I didn't move to Brooklyn until like my adult, like once I started living on my own, you know what I'm saying? And like that area, Elma, like all my friends who I grew up with, none of my people who I grew up with live out there. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like I don't even identify with anything that's going on because I haven't lived out there since I was 18. That was mad years ago. You understand what I'm saying? I was more than 10 ago. I've been living in Brooklyn for like the past 9 years. You know what I'm saying? But I lived all around Brooklyn. I lived in fucking Bushwick. I've lived in fucking East New York. I lived in East New York for 5 years. You know what I'm saying? I've been living in Bed-Stuy for the past 3 years, but I've been in Bed-Stuy for like years. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I'm on the streets like the vagabond, because I live places. You understand what I'm saying? All these places that I've lived make me who I am today. So it's not really like one place. Like, I'm from New York City, but like the Brooklyn, Queens area.
Rome Streetz.
I lived in London also. You understand what I'm saying? I lived in London also. You know what I'm saying? So that name is like fitting. I didn't even name myself Rome Streetz. You know what I'm saying? That's funny. Like one of my friends' name, because it's like, yo, you just be out Rome Streetz. You know what I'm saying? But
that's what's up. Yo, you're breaking up a little bit.
That's my story, bro. I lived plenty places, bro. Oh shit.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little. You're breaking up a
little
bit.
I lived plenty places, bro.
Say that part right before that again. Say that part. You know, your name Rome Streetz. You didn't even come up with the name.
Oh
Rome
yeah,
Streetz.
my headphones just fucked up. Yeah. Oh yeah, my name Rome Streetz.
Yeah.
I didn't name myself that. Like one of my friends gave me that name. You understand what I'm saying? Because of the life that I've lived. Like, yo, you've been mad places. Like you've lived in so many different areas and you're familiar with so many different parts of New York. It's not really just one place with you. Like how people could be like, yo, I identify with this one neighborhood. I lived there all my life. You understand what I'm saying? Like there's plenty of neighborhoods that I've lived in for more than 5 years in New York, where it's like I got roots and ties in all these places. Where it's like, if I say I'm not from there, people like, yo, you from over here, buddy. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's weird.
I feel you, man. Yeah, I lived in New York for a decade. Both my parents are from New York, from different parts. Excuse me, but I grew up.
Funny, like my parents kind of lived like the same life that I did. You understand what I'm saying? Like my mom was like born in Jamaica, but then she moved to London, but then she moved to New York, but then she moved to Florida. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I guess like moving around is in my blood, probably.
Yeah. I find it, for me, I moved around a lot too. And I feel like anytime I've been anywhere for 5 years, I start looking around, I start getting antsy. I start getting like, it's been 5 years. Where else? Is this really the right place? Let me see what else is out there.
Mm-hmm. Because the world is big. Like, the world is big and you only have one life. You get what I'm saying? Like, you want to see it's best to try to see and experience as much things as possible out there in the world.
You had another line that hit me the other day. I'm gonna misquote it. I seen a Graham McCoke turn a baller to Earl Manigault.
Yeah, real shit. As far as like, I know people who were good in sports. Like, put like this, that area, Elmont, that's a lot of people that lived in that area, they died of a drug overdose. Like, I know so many people who were like in high school or fucking college, they were top athlete and shit, and now they on drugs, and then, oh shit, they died. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, and I just remember as a kid watching that Earl Manigault movie where he was a dope ass basketball player, but he just couldn't get off the heroin. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, I've seen that. Like, I looked at a picture the other day, right, of like kids that I grew up in, and only one of them is alive. And all them niggas died for the same shit. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, I seen that. You understand what I'm saying? So that's some real shit. Yeah. And then even just everywhere, like, I know so many people that had so much potential to do a lot of things that, you know what I mean, died of drug overdoses, whether they played sports or they made music or they were just smart as fuck. You understand what I'm saying? So, and it's like an epidemic. So it's crazy.
Yeah, especially, I don't think people really understand how pervasive it is in music. Like, even people like on the other side of the microphone, you know, mm-hmm. it's just so ingrained in the culture.
Yeah, and then it's crazy because a lot of artists feel like they need to be on drugs or under the influence of anything, whether it be weed or something, to create. Well, you don't really need to do that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know?
It makes everything sloppy. It makes it inconsistent.
I mean, like, I guess, you know, shit works for who it works for. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I just, as far as like the drug culture, like, I've seen just a lot of sides of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when I was like, during the times I was making music, like, I would say like street pharmacy or whatever, like, I had caught a case. You know, I thought when I was making the album, I thought I was going to jail. So that behind that album was like, you know, if I have to go to jail, like, leave some shit. You know what I'm saying? For the people. But I ended up like having to do a program for that case, you know what I'm saying? So like for a whole year, like, I wasn't smoking, I wasn't drinking, and I had to go to these meetings with all these like people older than me, like drug addicts and shit. You understand what I'm saying? And then like I got to like hear their stories and just see like a different side of life that I'd never seen. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, living in New York, you see a lot of fucking crackheads, you see a lot of dope addicts, you see all that shit, but then you never stop to wonder what the fuck happened. Like, if you don't know somebody personally, you know what I'm saying? Like, you won't know their story, you know what I'm saying? So that was like, I actually like, for a whole year, like, I was going to that shit, you know what I'm saying? And just hearing people, having conversations with people, but I was still making music, you know what I'm saying, at that time. So like, I just had a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? I seen a lot of things. So it's like, I put that into the music too. You know what I'm saying?
How do you think it affected your music? Like, for example, right, away from necessarily what you're talking about. I look at Eminem, right? Eminem went sober and his music sounded totally different. A lot of people don't like it nearly as much as his initial stuff, but it's still, to me, when I listen to Eminem music now, it still sounds like an addict in a sense. Like, you can see his addictive personality. Like, he's like a rapping typewriter, you know what I'm saying? Which is amazing, but he's criticized in that regard. And then I look at Royce the 5'9" on the other side. He got sober and his music got way better. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like clarity opened up his everything. So from your perspective, how was your reaction to it from a music standpoint? From a
I put it like this. The year that I wasn't smoking or drinking, that's when everything started to happen for me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I could say that's when my music career started to take off. I was much more focused. You understand what I'm saying? Because there was a lot of things that I wasn't doing because I was literally going back and forth to court. Like, there was songs that I literally wrote in court. You understand what I'm saying? Like real shit. Like during that whole period from Street Pharmacy, Noise Candy 1, Noise Candy 2, all them features and shit, I wasn't smoking. So all that shit, like everything started to take off. Before that, like I was running the streets, I was making music, but it didn't have an impact. You understand what I'm saying? Like how that shit happened. So that's one thing. But I'm gonna tell you a funny story. I was thinking about this shit today. Noise Candy 3, right? That's when shit. Matter of fact, yeah, it was Street Pharmacy, Noise Candy 1, Noise Candy 2, and Head Crack. That whole period I wasn't smoking, right? So after once I was done with the case, I started smoking weed again. So my homeboy was like, "Oh, you about to start smoking weed? Like your music ain't like, yo, you gonna lose it, bro. You gonna get lazy and shit." So I'm like, "Oh, word, all right, nigga." I'm like, "Yo, it doesn't have no effect whether I'm smoking or not. Like majority of times, I don't even be high when I'm writing the rhymes anyway. You understand what I'm saying? Like I'll wake up in the morning and just start writing. I don't even smoke. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Noise Candy 3, that was like me proving to one of my friends, like, yo, son, it doesn't matter whether I'm smoking or not. Like, I can still rip shit. Like, if I smoke, it's probably gonna be crazier. You understand what I'm saying? And then Noise Candy 3, that was like the craziest shit. Niggas like, yo, that's your best album. So it's like, it doesn't it don't matter whether I'm smoking or not. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. What's the difference between New York and LA from your experience, from the culture side, the music side, the environment? How does it affect your creativity?
I put it like this. The one thing, the reason why I can't really compare it too much is because only time I ever been to LA was during the quarantine. You understand what I'm saying? So like shit wasn't really going on. You get what I'm saying? Everybody was just inside. But um like LA, like you could feel it. Like I can't even describe it. Like everything that you thought of LA before you got there, once you get there, it's like it's cool. Like I was in the low riders and shit. Like we was in different areas. People was like, "Yo, where you from?" Like, "Oh, like all that gang shit, all that." Like I got to see all of it. Like, oh, not every single thing, but like I felt some of it. You get what I'm saying? Like it was crazy. So like the difference between LA and New York, like New York, everything is compact. Everything is, it's a rat race in New York. You get what I'm saying? Everybody's on the move. Like everybody's on top of each other. California is a little more slower pace. You get what I'm saying? Like the music reflects that. You get what I'm saying? But as far as me, like when I was in Cali making music, I kind of took it all in. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't know. It was like being out there and then working with Muggs, it was just like preparation meeting opportunity. It's like everything that I did up until this point is like, okay, this is it. It's like, it's practice. If this is practice, this is the big game right here. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you working with a fucking legend. This motherfucker got platinum plaques and fucking Grammy Award, whatever, you know what I mean? Awards, all big shit. You know what I'm saying? Muggs, Cypress Hill, that shit is the big fucking leagues. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I went from trying to get heard to now working with a legend. It's like, yo, I gotta show and prove. You get what I'm saying? So it just put me in that mode. I can't even really put it into words. It's just, you ever watch that movie? What the fuck? Damn, son. Is it called Soul? That cartoon movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know
That's
they
a great
talk
movie.
about like,
That's a great movie.
yeah. You know that shit where they talk about like the zone?
Yeah.
It's that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just get into that zone where it's like, all right, yo, I'm on it. Like, that's how I felt when I was out there.
Yeah, that's what's up. It looks like you're having fun. Like, I mean, you had the video, you in the low lows, you're in the low riders, you're rhyming about it too. And it looks like you're on top of the world, man. I mean, it looks like how I feel right after I'm relieved, right? And I'll say like, this is what I mean. Like I quit my job in investment banking to write about rap, right? I believed I could do it, but I was making no money for a long time. And then I got my first big break then I got officially into the system, right? When I started running DX, I'm in the system now. And like, everything that happened, it was just the happiest thing in the world to me, because it's, you know, it was a sign of accomplishment, but it was also intrinsically me proving something to myself. You know what I'm saying? That's what it looks like to me when I'm watching you, man.
Yeah, no, because yo, it is, because at the end of the day, it's something that I always wanted to do. Like from a kid, it's like, oh shit, I want to rap. I want to be a rapper. You know what I'm saying? And then motherfuckers don't believe that shit. Like, cause think about this. Before, like back in the day, like you had to get signed. You understand what I'm saying? Like a famous person had to motherfucking sign you. And how did you get there? How did you get from unknown person writing music in your fucking room to getting signed? You had to either like meet somebody and rap for them, or you had to fucking get it on a Smack DVD. If you had nobody to do that for you, there was no way. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like all that grinding, all that, you understand what I'm saying? Motherfuckers not believing in a dream. You the only person believing in yourself. You understand what I'm saying? You the only one person like pushing yourself, like regardless, to now like doing that shit. You understand what I'm saying? That's like a great triumph, because it's your idea. You made your dreams come to life. You manifested the shit. You understand what I'm saying? You're doing it on your own terms. So it is fun, because I be doing this shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's like, yo, when I be writing, like, there's times where I'll make a song and I'll be like, this ain't it. Like, I do it, like, I did a song and I didn't really, not saying I didn't think the beat was dope. It's just not like a beat that I would do. You understand what I'm saying? It's not my shit. I didn't feel like it was something that I would do. I just did it because I had the beat. You understand what I'm saying? That somebody who was lit gave it to me. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do this beat just cause. I did it. I didn't really feel it like that. Like I feel other shit. And motherfuckers love that shit. Like motherfuckers love that fucking song. So it's like, all right, yo, I got shit. Like I have fun with this shit, because it's like the shit that I don't even think I'm trying hard on, motherfuckers love it. And when I do try hard, motherfuckers love it in a different way. So it's like I get to experiment with my intensity on how I make shit. So it's fun because it's something that I want to do. Like if you would have asked me when I was 15 what I wanted to do, I'd tell you this right here. You understand what I'm saying? And everybody around me didn't think I'd do it, or didn't, I mean, it wasn't something that was like feasible. Like if you say, yo, I wanna run a fucking corner store. I want to own my own store when I grow up. Your parents will believe that shit. Like, all right, cool. That sounds like a good idea. Or I want to go to school for this and do that. Your parents will be A1 behind that shit. You know what I mean? Like, what you want to do? Yo, I want to make music. Like, what? Like, when I was a kid, yo, niggas, it wasn't a thing. Now, motherfuckers' parents be all behind that shit because you could do it yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Before it wasn't like that. So now, from coming from that to now I'm actually doing that shit, it's like, this is fun. I wouldn't want to be doing nothing else at the end of the day.
That's what's up.
You feel me? It's just, it's levels to this shit. I don't want to stop growing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm having fun though. Definitely.
What up? What does Death and the Magician mean? Like where'd the title come from?
The title means it plays off the two tarot cards. You know what I'm saying? The Death card and the Magician card. The Death card is about like rebirth, like the change for the better. You get what I'm saying? It's not actually about dying. It's about the end of something and the start of something else. The Magician card, when that comes, it's like, yo, all the abilities to make your talents or your dreams excel. You get what I'm saying? So I took it as like, you know what? It's the change of me going from like trying to get my music popping to now I'm actually working with a legend. Like DJ Muggs is a legend. So it's like, yo, it's a big transition. It's old to the new. Whether if motherfuckers wasn't taking my music serious before, you taking shit now because look what I'm doing. You get what I'm saying? If niggas wasn't listening before, if I felt like, yo, I wasn't on a level, or look what I'm doing now. You get what I'm saying? I used to listen to DJ Muggs. Like, yo, it's crazy. The first time I heard the Cypress Hill song was in the movie Juice. When I was a kid, me and my cousin used to watch that shit all the time. And just that song, the beat was just crazy. You know what I'm saying? We used to reenact that fucking part where he was in the elevator. Like, that's funny. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, yo, from just having that in my childhood to now doing an album with this right now, you know what I'm saying? Soul Assassin, just like the end of something and the start of something new. And then DJ Muggs, he's the magician because he's giving me all the tools and the platform to amplify my talents. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's where that title come from. DJ Muggs actually made that title up. You know what I'm saying? But that's where that comes from. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope. I mean, there's that part in the film too with the tarot card lady. And the dude comes in.
That's actually, I put that in there. Like, yo,
yo, I mean, for people who haven't seen it yet, it's an old clip from an old film. There's this woman with tarot cards. This man comes in. He says, "What's my future?"
Oh, she looks at that.
Yeah, then she says, "You have no future. Why don't you just go home?" You know what I mean? Like, there's I mean, that whole film itself is real tastefully done, artistically done, but it's inspiring too. You know, you have the
I thought you were talking about the Miss Cleo thing.
Oh, at the end, Miss Cleo at the end. Yeah, that was a nice touch too. Yeah. You know, but even the concept for it. I mean, like the whole package for the project, everything is fresh. I think you're extremely talented MC. You know what I mean?
Thank
you, I enjoyed this conversation. It's inspirational to me just hearing you describe your story. You know what I mean? And I think that your music and your words will touch a lot of people. I have one more question, but is there anything else you want to talk about? Anything else that you want to cover? Make sure people understand.
I don't even know right now, bro. Honestly, go ahead. You can ask the question. It'll probably spark another thought.
So with everything that you've experienced, you know, living in roaming the streets all over the world, moving to London, moving back, putting out your own music, and now officially entering this next era. What still surprises you about hip hop?
What still surprises me about hip hop? Just where it's going. What is more considered hip hop? You understand what I'm saying? Like before, a lot of things that is lit now. When I was growing up as a kid, it wasn't hip hop to be doing a lot of the shit that's going on right now. You understand what I'm saying? It would have never made it. It's just like, what surprises me is what's making it through now. Like what's accepted, like the range of acceptability now. You know what I'm saying? It's not a bad thing, and certain things, in my opinion, it may not be a good thing. You understand what I'm saying? But it's not up to me. But it still surprises me. You understand what I'm saying? But you know, hip hop is like a fucking, it's a growing thing. It's never gonna stay the same. It's never gonna like be contained. It's always gonna have new ideas, and you know what I mean? It's gonna keep evolving. There's space for so much things. You understand what I'm saying? One thing I do wish is that like they don't group everything into one category. You understand? I feel like hip hop itself needs its own genres now. You understand what I'm saying? Because everything is not the same. You understand what I'm saying? It's like if a nigga do a whole song and he's like harmonizing and singing basically through the whole song, is that a rap song? You understand what I'm saying? Is that a rap song? Regardless if a rap artist makes it, it's not rap. It's like, you understand what I'm saying? Like there's artists that only do that, but it's like that's hip hop to some people. You understand what I'm saying? Like that could just be its own genre. Like trap is not the same as like boom bap shit or whatever you want to call it. And it's not the same as drill. You understand what I'm saying? The prominent artists in each of those fields won't consider what they do like the other thing. But as hip hop culture, but it's a different genre of hip hop. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like hip hop should be able to like have its own genres in a sense, and like people get credit for excelling in those genres. You understand what I'm saying? Like how they have rock and roll, then they have alternative, then they have metal. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people that is excelling, but they not getting the looks or the just due that they should get because they just grouping all this shit into one. You understand what I'm saying?
Would you consider like that? Would you consider them all rap? Like it's trap, drill, and boom bap, all rap.
The only reason why the lines get blurred is because you have certain artists that do all that shit. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like it gets blurry. I understand why it gets blurry, because as a person who makes music, you can do all of it. Like if I choose to rap on a trap beat, I could do that. If I wanted to do a drill song, I could do it, but it's just not what I choose to do at this moment, or it's just not where the energy is taking me. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But I don't know. I love hip hop though. So I like where it's at, you know what I'm saying, for what we do. But it don't stop surprising me. There's so many things that surprise me. I've seen some shit today that's surprising, but I ain't even gonna get into it.
It's too late now. You can't say never mind. What surprised you today?
Yo, man, I seen a fucking that Lil Nas X shit on Twitter. I'm like, yo, is this serious right now? Like this dude is getting fucked by the devil right now. Like, I'm like, what is going? That's crazy right now. And the tweet was, this is what they giving to kids. You understand what I'm saying? Like, regardless, like, whoever's into that, you into it. Like, just my opinions and my thoughts, that's crazy to me. You understand what I'm saying? Because young kids is the one who his music is targeted to. Right. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, that imagery is wild. Like, when I was a kid, they was fucking wilding on Eminem for saying extra little dumb shit. He wasn't even, you know what I mean? And they tried to kill him. Like, look at this right now. This dude is like, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. It is what it is, man. But like I said, there's a lane for everything. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you can't group all this shit into one, bro. It's not the same shit. It's not the same shit, bro.
Oh man, you were so right about that, man. I saw the.
It's not the same shit, bro.
I saw that video today. I was like, wow.
It's not the same thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, more power to him, but I feel like that type of shit can live in its own category. You understand what I'm saying? Because when they giving awards out, they picking everything in one hat, like hip hop. Okay, I'm glad where they went this year. Like, we gotta keep going there. You understand what I'm saying? But that's not hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He is giving the devil a lap dance in that video, though, man.
Yeah, that's wild, bro.
That's wild.
That's wild.
Oh God.
They
it's
used
like
to fucking try to kill Jay-Z. Thought he was Illuminati by having the pyramid on his t-shirt. You understand what I'm saying? Like, remember the whole thing? They was like, oh, the shit over your eye. It's like, bro, what's going on now? Like, what are they trying to say? Like, what are they trying to say? I didn't even stay for the whole thing. I seen that shit was just on the scroll. I'm like, yo, what is this? You know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. The world is big, so there's space for everything. But whatever, man.
Word up, man. Yo, man, I appreciate the time. Rome Streetz,
No
Death
doubt,
of the Magician.
Man.
Where can people find you? Where can they find the project?
Check it out. Check me out. Rome Streetz, ROMESTREETZ. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere. Just look, if you know what I mean? Rome like Italy, streets like streets with a Z at the end.
Word.
You know what I mean? Just put that shit in on your Googles. I mean, we there. We live and direct. Feel me?
Word up.
Word.
I appreciate you, sir.
Yeah, man. Thank you for the time, bro.
Definitely.
Appreciate you too.